I would like to call to order the March 5th, 2024 Little Rock City Board of Directors meeting. I'd like to welcome those that are in attendance as well as those watching and streaming online. Madam Clerk, if you would, please call the roll.
Director Miller.
Here.
Director Richardson.
Here.
Director Peck. Here. Director Hines.
Present.
Director Lewis. Here. Director Wyrick. Present. Director Compuris.
Present.
Director Phillips.
Present.
Director Adcock. Present. Vice Mayor Webb. Here. Mayor Scott.
Present. Let me now recognize Director Peck, who will give our invocation.
City Attorney Carpenter is going to do that, Mayor.
All right.
Please join me. To paraphrase Dietrich Bonhoeffer, many people are looking for our ears that will listen, but they do not find it when people are talking when they should be listening. As an elected body in this community, this board should be quick to listen and slow to speak. Listening lies at the heart of our community. But to really listen, we need to learn how to listen to a person next to us. And after all, how do we listen to the community we do not necessarily see if we cannot listen to a person beside us who we know is there? The spirit of our community is present tonight. Can we hear it? Are there questions about the contracts to be approved that need to be considered? And if we do not consider them, have we listened to a concern? To appointments we need to ratify that have been given to us by a body chosen to make such a recommendation, at least require us to listen to that recommendation. Are the planning issues we consider tonight well made if all sides of a particular issue are not heard? The need or desire to agree never negates the need, the willingness, and the responsibility to listen. As elected leaders, if we do not listen, will our community ever know if it was heard? Let us reach out. Let us hear. Amen.
Amen. Will you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll now have a presentation from Gina Gingberling in the Little Rock Convention and Visitors Bureau regarding the solar eclipse events for the city.
Good evening. Thank you, Mayor Scott, and thank you, city directors, for allowing me to be here today. Thank you to City Director Phillips for suggesting that we come and talk about what we love to talk about, and that is tourism. As you all might have seen recently on the news, that we do have a pretty special event coming up on April 8th with the solar eclipse. Us in the tourism world, we've been talking about this honestly even before the pandemic. So it's been on our radar. We've been looking and waiting for this day. It really gives, just talking to State Tourism Office this last week at the Governor's Conference on Tourism, it's really exciting about the national media that's going to be around the state and in Little Rock that weekend of the eclipse, and of course on that Monday afternoon. It really is going to give the opportunity to put Arkansas, right on the national media exposure. So we're really excited about that. Just to give you a few, just a brief outline on some of the activities and things we've been doing as we've been preparing for the eclipse. We started meetings with our hospitality partners, that's our hotels, attractions, restaurants, several months ago, probably 6-8 months ago, and we've been having regular meetings with them. We've created a website, littlerock.com/eclipse. On that website is a list of all the activities happening in and around Little Rock the weekend of the eclipse, and of course on that Monday. We have been doing some regional and national advertising as well, on some science-related podcasts, some billboards around the Memphis area, and then, of course, all kinds of social and digital advertising and media buys, trying to encourage them to select, if they're coming to the Eclipse, to select Little Rock. As for our organization, what we're doing that weekend is we are holding 3 events at the First Security Amphitheater. We're starting on that Saturday night. We will be hosting Rodney Block. These are all free concerts to the public and our visitors coming from out of town and visiting us. On Sunday night, we have a country music artist, Ward Davis. And then on Sunday, we have a Pink Floyd tribute band that will actually play Dark Side of the Moon leading up into the eclipse time. They will go quiet for about 20 minutes and then come back on with the song. So if any of you can join us, we would love to have you there down at the First Security Amphitheater with us. One thing I did want to note, this is kind of different for us. Typically, events that are at the First Security Amphitheater are promoters that are hosting events. We are actually hosting this event, which means it's everything from the porta potties to the beverages sold and that sort of thing. So for us to be able to pull a liquor license for that weekend, we did need a non-for-profit partner. So we reached out to the Little Rock Marathon and the Parks Department. They're helping us with volunteers because we'll need a lot of volunteers that weekend as well. And then in turn, that 25% of the sales of those beverages for that weekend will go back to the Parks Conservancy. So we're really excited about that partnership because parks is so important to tourism as a whole, and it's a way that we can give back to the park system. Other than that, we have inventoried our hotels. We still have plenty of hotel rooms available. So we're continuing to message, that there's plenty of rooms available. Still invite your friends and family to come to Little Rock and view the eclipse with us. So did anyone have any questions?
Got a weather forecast for that day?
No, we're waiting on that weather forecast as well. The eclipse watchers seem to watch the weather, so I think it will be probably 10, 14 days before we'll see a big uptick. Previously in my career, I was about 5 hours away from the main point of NASA's main watching spot in 2017, and it was about 14 days ahead that the clear skies were predicted and our whole city sold out to, and we were 5 hours from the watching spot.
Director Compures, and then Director Phillips.
Well, Gina, thank you. The group that started with COVID with the hospitals still meets now monthly, and our meeting yesterday was all about what was going to happen. And the hospitals in the greater Little Rock area are treating this like a holiday. They're going to be overstaffed. MIMS is going to be overstaffed. Elective surgeries are probably not going to occur that day for a lot of different reasons. So as Gina's planning on how to take care of people in town and getting them suited and in hotel rooms, just want you to know your medical community is already looking ahead on how to take care of medical problems during this period of time. And this is a direct offshoot to what we started, Frank, when we started this, that we've continued meeting. And it was a good session of sharing what people could do and could not do and how each hospital was going to take care of these situations. So thank you.
Director Phillips.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Gina and CVB team for putting this together. This is, I think, a significant deal to get people in our city and show them what we have to offer all around that Monday. I guess my only question for you, is there any advice to our residents as we expect this influx of people on Monday? I've seen some posts about do certain things earlier or be prepared. Any words of wisdom in preparation for all the people coming in town?
Well, I wish I had a crystal ball. Even talking to state tourism and officials this last week and the last few weeks, and we really do not know what to expect. So, we are encouraging, and I know Mike with the marathon and emergency management, they've been messaging to be sure to fill up your gas tanks, right, Mike? And, treat it maybe like a snowstorm, get your eggs and your milk, and just be prepared and allow extra time to get places. We really anticipate probably the afternoon of Monday to be the worst traffic flow. Is that correct, Mike? Okay.
Okay. Well, again, thank you. I appreciate you coming out, and I'm glad we're selling our city, not only to the people who live here, but the people who come to visit. So thank you for your leadership on that.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
And members of the board, just want to share that I'll be issuing those couple of days executive order for a state of emergency, just to make certain that we have all the adequate number of staff and emergency personnel in the event that anything happens, but particularly, as you know, potential for traffic and things of that nature. So just wanted to make sure you're aware that we'll have a state of emergency that will allow us to do various different things from that period of time. Leland, and thank you for our city attorney for drafting that executive order for me, and to the clerk.
Okay, good evening, board, mayor, vice mayor. Thank you for allowing me to speak tonight. I'm just going to share a few quick experiences that we have developed for our residents, really. We're really more focused from a park standpoint on what our facilities and what our parks can do for residents. I'm like Gina as well, as we don't really know exactly what our participation is going to be in all these, but we're hosting different events at all of our facilities. And so I'm just going to share some brief overview of that tonight. So at our community centers and our outdoor recreation coordinator will be doing some different events. Our community centers will be live completely during the event that day, and they're doing some events even prior to the eclipse, and I'll get into that list here in just shortly, as well as we're using our facilities for health and wellness, such as our Gym Daily fitness facility. There'll be yoga out on the pool deck during the event. So we're kind of catering to a whole bunch of different users that already use our facilities, and then if they're there, how can they experience the eclipse? So a couple watch parties. I mentioned our community centers and the yoga at Gym Daily. And then also we're working with the Arkansas Museum of Fine Arts with their front lawn, the Crescent Lawn that we work with our Military History Museum, and doing a watch party there. These are some of our pre-eclipse programs. So we're excited to have a planetarium pop-up at Dunbar in the gym. That'll be March 19th. Some of our outdoor recreation activities will be hosted at Murray Park or Memorial Park. Those will be for family fun, stargazing, talking about what the eclipse is, looking at the stars. Some of these events, these will be April 5th and 7th, so it's leading up to the actual event. We'll be doing activities for our seniors, some world arts and crafts at one of our community centers. I believe that's West Central. Our therapeutic recreation team is involved in moon pie baking. So it's a little bit of everything here. Movies at our MacArthur, the Race to the Moon. So they host a lot of movies. So just a theme about the moon. And both of our golf courses are hosting eclipse events. So you can, again, it's a great place to go see the eclipse on our golf course, but also there'll be events going on there. Also, if you're an outdoorsman and you like fishing, you can go to MacArthur Park and get into a fishing derby, and we'll be educating the public at all of these events about the eclipse and more information at each of them. Also at these events, we'll be sharing a Party in a Box. So these are boxes that our grants office and our communication office have been working on. Our AmeriCorps team, which we currently have, will be putting these together. We've also received a grant, not a grant, actually a sponsorship from McFarland Eye Company for our solar glasses there. So I'm really excited to be able to have some of these items for our residents at each of our facility, and as well as some of our staff too that will be at City Hall and our other facilities. A little bit on this, I haven't actually seen this YouTube, but I hear there's a great YouTube video about tips and tricks about watching the solar eclipse. These are some local astronomers, Carl and Darcy, that have completed a YouTube video, and there's some information on our website to share about how best to view the eclipse. And then this is one of our last slides here for me. This is about camping. So originally when we started talking about this event over a year ago, we thought, wow, hundreds of thousands of people, where's everybody gonna stay? We really started looking into the potential of camping. That was a big idea that other cities had discussed as well. We did this more of a, what if it does happen and the numbers really do show up, we're prepared. So we have a lot of parks that are listed for camping if we need to turn that on, so that if hundreds of thousands of people show up, then we're prepared and we have security and it's all organized. Mike Garrity has completed all that organization, and I'm very thankful for the hard work he's done. The reason this says coming soon is I believe that Tom has a ordinance or a proclamation tonight to finalize with the city board tonight about this, to allow us to host some of this camping. So more information on that to come if that's finalized. And then I want to just turn it over to Susan Altrui just for a couple of slides about what she's doing at the Little Rock Zoo. Thank you.
Thank you, Leland. Mayor, directors, I'm very happy to be here to talk about what we're doing at the Little Rock Zoo for the eclipse. I was talking with someone earlier today and let them know I was coming here to do a presentation on the eclipse, and they said, well, Susan, you should be dressed in all black because it's the eclipse, and instead you're wearing a very bright and sunny outfit. So nonetheless, though, very happy to be here to talk about the eclipse and what all we're doing for it. The first thing that we're doing is what we're calling the Party on the Path Picnic, which is happening the Sunday before the eclipse. The reason we're doing something before the eclipse is because in a lot of the research that we've done, we have found that a lot of people that are coming into the area come several days before and want to enjoy events leading up to the eclipse. And so we have already sold several tickets to this event. It is a catfish dinner that will be happening at the zoo, and we're looking forward to hosting people here locally and from out of town for that event. And then on the day of the eclipse, we have two events that we are hosting. The first is an event that we're doing that is a tailgate party. This is a higher end event that we are offering in our east parking lot, where we are selling tailgate experiences and tailgate spaces. We also have learned from partners that have hosted eclipse events that it is smart to offer both high end and general admission events, and to offer those types of experiences. And so that's what we're doing. This is a special event experience where you can tailgate with us and enjoy a special event experience from 7 a.m. all the way through the entire day, so that you can let all that traffic get out of the city and then pull your car out at the end of the day. So we're offering that for individuals that want to pay that price. But if you would rather just have a general experience at the zoo, the other thing that we are offering is a general admission to the zoo that day. It is a little bit of an elevated price, but does allow for general admission to the zoo and all of the experiences that we're offering. We're partnering with some local scientists and other experts in the field that are going to be talking a lot about what animals do during the eclipse. There's a lot of curiosity around what our animal friends do during the eclipse, and we are really looking forward to seeing what all of our animal friends do. We're also seeing a lot of national media attention around this, so we're hoping to garner some national media attention at the Little Rock Zoo during this, so you might see some of that happening as well. But we're looking forward to hosting a very exciting eclipse event and a series of events during the eclipse. So we're very excited about that. All right, do we have any questions? We also can let you know too that we have the full list of events that are at littlerock.gov, including where you can find camping reservations, RSVP for the watch party, and also where you can watch those eclipse tips with Carl and Darcy that Leland mentioned earlier. And of course, any information about the Little Rock Zoo you can take a look at littlerockzoo.com and purchase tickets there in advance. Oh, one thing I wanted to mention about the zoo as well, we will be offering our SNAP benefit discount on that day as well, which is a $2 general admission. Thank you, Kathy. We have started that program this year where you can receive a $2 general admission with your SNAP benefit card, and that will be honored that day. Thank you very much. Any questions for myself or Leland?
Director Richardson, did you have a question in your hands?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Susan, thank you, especially for the $2 admission. That's really wonderful. My concern is, have we had any thought or given any thought about the impact of the diversity of our participants on these elevated prices you just shown us with these events? Have we thought about that some people who financially may not be able to participate in some of these events? And I know that may not be a fair question for you, but that's just the first thing that came to my mind when I saw that and looked at those prices and heard your presentation. And once again, thank you for the $2 admission information. And thank you to Director Webb, Vice Mayor Webb. But have we given any consideration or thought about that?
I appreciate that question. What we have seen from the information shared with us from both the Parks Department, the CVB, and also the partners that have hosted events in the past is that elevated prices are recommended, mostly because that's what we're seeing in other places is it's recommended. We have not seen an impact to people being able to buy. We're selling tickets right now, and I think that also offering that SNAP benefit allows those who are unable to be able to afford those tickets to still be able to afford them.
Okay, thank you. That's it, Mayor.
Thank you. All right, members of the board, we'll first go with Director Hines. I know he wanted to kick us off on one of the items, and then Director Wyatt.
So, Mayor, I've got a question on one before we get to the consent agenda, and I apologize. I was out of town last week. But item 23 that I asked to hold separate, I no longer have any questions about that, and I move that we move 23 to the grouped items.
Second.
There's a motion second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it. That'll be item number 23 moved to the grouped items.
Correct. And then item M1, the addition of the resolution, and item 7 on consent, should those be moved to, do we need to go in executive session to make those appointments?
Correct.
So I move that we move M1 and 7 to after we go into executive session to handle those two appointments.
I second that one as well.
There's a motion and second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it.
Super. And I've got a quick question for Mr. Honeywell on our resurfacing. So I'm glad to see that we already got the 2024. First question is, when is the contractor going to start on the 2023 projects that he has yet to lay any asphalt on?
He has, can you all hear me okay? Yeah. He has been given notice to proceed. The way those contracts are set up, he has a one-year time period to complete the list of streets that he has.
Okay, when was he given notice to proceed last year?
It was probably sometime late summer, early fall. I don't know the exact date.
Okay, I'd like to, as a side order of business, I'd like to have that information.
Certainly.
And then, so when is the notice to proceed going to be on this current one? And
probably here within the next couple of weeks, as soon as this is approved.
So we should actually see some 24 resurfacing done in 24.
Yes, sir. And this is actually 24 and 25 all under one contract.
Okay. And then on the other item, open business with you, I still have not received the street fund balance that I requested at our budget meetings back in November.
Yes, sir. We've been working on that with our finance department to finalize that number. We just want to make sure we're giving you the correct information.
Okay, I'm going to take issue with that it shouldn't take 3 months to get me that number. That should be a number that you as a director and our finance department should easily put their hands on. I expressed to Acting Center Manager Cox 2 weeks ago that I wanted to make sure I hadn't missed an email, but I am not pleased with the lack of response on that one item. That's something we used to be given readily on this board, and for some reason, we can't seem to get finance or your department to give us the number. It doesn't seem like that should be that hard a number, but I appreciate on that, and I'll give it back to you, Mayor.
Thank you so much. Director Wyrick.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to move item 20 to the grouped items. It was placed separately last week, but all of the questions have been answered, and so I'd like to see it go to grouped items.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Ayes have it. Item number 22 is moved to the grouped items.
20.
20.
Item
20, sorry about that. Director Peck, did you have your hand up?
Yes. But while we're doing announcements, could I do a very quick announcement?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Well, I thought I would ask permission. So Saturday is the big citywide cleanup, and I know there's a lot of participation. Ward 1 has 13 projects, Ward 2, 5, Ward 3, 8, Ward 4, 7, Ward 5, 1. Come on, Lance. Ward 6, 9, and Ward 7, 2. So there will be hundreds of volunteers cleaning up the city just in time for the eclipse. And you can still sign up. The big kickoff is at Interstate Park. Director Lewis, I know you and your sorority are already involved in a project. I think Vice Mayor Webb will be at Interstate Park, and Director Miller and I will, Director Phillips. So come on out. Let's keep Little Rock beautiful. Sign up and wear comfortable clothes, and we'll supply everything else. And Director Hines, thanks for Priority One's sponsorship of Keep Little Rock Beautiful.
Glad to do it.
Thank you.
All right. Madam Clerk, if you would, please read the consent agenda.
The consent agenda consists of a resolution to authorize the city manager to enter into a contract with Redstone Construction Group Incorporated in amount not to exceed $6,025,754 for street resurfacing within the city of Little Rock, Arkansas, and for the purposes funding from the limited tax general obligation capital improvement bonds. A resolution authorizes the city manager to award a professional engineering services contract for engineering design and survey services for the 2023 to 2025 capital improvement projects funded from the proceeds of the limited tax obligation capital improvement bonds for streets and drainage projects, and for the purposes a resolution to amend Little Rock, Arkansas resolution number 15,943 of March the 21st, 2023 to authorize the city manager to enter into a contract with Risk Management Resources in the amount of $72,000 to provide third-party administrative services for the city's self-funded workers' compensation program, and for the purposes a resolution to authorize the city manager to appropriate $1 million from the Technology Park Special Project to the Central Arkansas Technology Park Authority, and for the purposes a resolution to certify local government endorsement of DeSoto Falcon Jet Corporation to participate in the Arkansas Tax Back Program as authorized by Arkansas Code Section 15-4-2706D of the Consolidated Incentive Act of 2003, and for the purposes a resolution to appoint Lee Mayfield and Marvin Henderson to the Board of Commissioners for the Yorkwood Recreational Improvement District Number 3 of the City of Little Rock, Arkansas, and for the purposes. That concludes the consent agenda.
Move for the adoption of the consent agenda.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. Ayes have it. We'll now go into executive session. Ms. Norma Huffman.
Citizen communication. Citizen communication.
Citizens communication.
You're trying to hurry up, Mayor. I like that.
That was a good one.
How you doing, Ms. Norma?
I am here. So I have been talking to a couple of you guys about what's going on at my new place, but the main thing why I'm here tonight is not only for that, but for a lady and her children out at Auxerre Arms. She literally just had a brand new baby over the weekend, and the manager has taken her anger out on this family because I was the one that initiated code going out there. And she's being blamed for it. And now this landlord has given her eviction papers, not once, but twice. And she's doing this out of spite. Everything was fine up until the last time that code was out there for her apartment, not anyone else's, just hers. And this is not right, guys. Like I said, she just had a brand new baby over the weekend. She's a single mom of 4 kids. She doesn't have very many options. There's Miss Pat that's also out there. And Miss Pat, we're still working with her. But right now, I really need to ask you guys, I know it's still technically winter, but a lot of you guys know what my health problems are. You guys know I have to be in climate-controlled environment. Guys, my apartment has been up, it's at 84 degrees because the air conditioner now does not work after the HVAC guy put in a new thermometer. And the manager out there will not do anything about it. This is not good. Please help me in Raven.
Thank you, Ms. Norman. Mr. Luke Scrable.
Good evening. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to exercise my First Amendment rights in America. I've been trying for the better part of 18 months now to receive 18 FOIs that I've not received, but the city attorney's office and his staff says they've delivered. Well, last night we found out on 11/7 of last year, I sent a FOI request to Mr. Collins. He never got the delivery from FOI. So that one is one bona fide for sure. So I've sent it out to 70% of the elected board and to the mayor, city attorney, city manager. And I'm still waiting since September the 13th of 2022. And now the new process that the city attorney's office has got going, that when they send an FOI reply out, they close the ticket before I've even seen it, read it. I'm the person that tells the city my FOI is closed. So the FOI is a law. I just sent one in on the 28th. I have not received it. It's a law, 72 hours. It's required that you give an explanation of why it's not delivered in 72 hours. I don't even get receipts that they received my FOIs. I'm asking the directors who are over the city attorney's office to stand up for the First Amendment rights of the public. I'm entitled to those public records. I pay taxes so that I'm entitled to them. I've been paying tax in this town since 1978. I would like some public service. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Scrable. Ms. Don Jeffrey.
Well, thank you. Good evening, board. It's been a minute. I see some new faces. So I guess I talked to my ward director. I was just like, just take it with a grain of salt. You weren't here when it happened. But on the 24th, as some of you know, we held a commemoration for Bradley Blackshire, and several families who have experienced police violence came out, and it just reminded me that we must keep going until the demands that we set forth initially be brought back before this board, because during that time promises were made and they weren't followed through on. And I just want to acknowledge any families that have experienced police violence. I see Ms. Ware over there. Her son was actually shot by an LRPD officer. So in 2019, the Citizens Review Board was created, and when it first rolled out, I stated it was a Band-Aid. It was something that looked nice, a kind gesture with no real teeth to it. And I'm not aware if some of you read the article, but the article was really concerning, that not our city directors nor the citizens really know what's going on with the board. There have been only 2 complaints heard since 2019, which is a long span. And these meetings are not even open to the public, nor are there reports on these meetings that I've seen. And the fact that some of its own members refuse to be transparent is even more concerning. And my question is, how can we trust them with the intended process? And I've tried to give it a chance, but it's basically non-existent. I asked several citizens just as I was walking up. I was like, did you know we had a citizens review board? Like, what? A citizens review board? What is that? They don't even know it exists. So why aren't the people on this board educating people on what they do and how they can file a complaint? It should be a part of their responsibility, and I feel like everyone's to blame, the city and the police, because there is no dialogue or information around it readily available to file a complaint. And it would cost no money for the Little Rock Police Department to add to the bottom of complaints filed to let people know that here are your options as far as following up on a complaint. And I ask that the board really be disbanded unless they're given any real power, and let the commission operate just as self-standing. But some reform opportunities could be given real power. We asked the police to reside in the city. All the people on these commissions and boards should reside in the city. The people, they should be elected by the people and not appointed. They shouldn't have restrictions. Can I continue, or do I have time to continue?
Ms. Jeffrey, we give everyone 3 minutes.
Okay. I'll have someone pick it up. Thank you for your time.
Ms. Jeffrey, if you do have anything written down, we can add it to the record.
I can email you a copy.
Thank you. Dehay, and I apologize, Malden. Regarding Autumn Park Apartments. Sorry, is it this?
Molden.
Molden.
Yes.
I apologize.
Yes, my name is Deborah Molden, and I've been a resident at the Autumn Park Apartments for like 3 years. A new management came and took over about 1.5 years ago. So right now I'm living with mold in my apartment. I'm living with 2 bathrooms, which we can't take a bath in because the sinks and the tubs are peeling. I'm living with roaches everywhere. I'm living outside. You can't go outside because it's a dump ground out there. When I first moved there, they had maintenance peoples there. Now we have 2 maintenance men, and they only speak Spanish, so we can't communicate with them. It's raccoons live across the street, which comes over to the apartments. They haven't come and cut the lawn since I've been there, since they've taken over. We haven't had laundry since they've taken over, which is in our lease to have laundry. We don't have that, and we can't have people to come over. Everybody's embarrassed for someone to come over because when you get out of your car, you don't know what you're gonna step on. They don't know who's beyond our fence. I asked them who's responsible for that cleanup. They say it's on the city. We don't know. That's what we need to find out, who's responsible for cleaning that up. So when we walk down our sidewalks, we are not stepping over comforters and blankets and stuff like that, So, and it has just been real hectic out there. Like I said, spraying every night for roaches. Mildew in the closets, the ceiling in the bathroom. When the people take a bath up over me, water comes down, and they've been down there 3 times to patch it up, but it haven't been fixed. So we still don't know if that thing might fall or not. So that, it's a lot of things that's going on out there that I don't think is fair, that they ask for our rent every month, but they are not coming out to do anything for us. I called city enforcement. They were out there to my apartment yesterday. Code enforcement, I think it is, whatever. But they were out to my apartment yesterday, and he was looking, and he took pictures and was saying that it's a shame that we have to live this way. But that's my complaint, and if y'all can get out there and just get the outside cleaned up, and so that, you know, you look like we live like human beings instead of we're living like animals that don't care about our environment, because we do. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Moulton.
Mayor, just for a clarification, what was the name of your apartment complex, Ms. Molden?
Autumn Park Apartment.
Autumn Park?
Yes, it's 43 Warren Drive.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Sean Woods.
Hello, how you doing? Mayor, board. I was gonna get up here and say something else, but something came to my attention. Back when George Floyd got killed and we were protesting, does anybody remember what we were protesting about? Because they countered that with Blue Lives Matter. When we said Black Lives Matter, they came back with Blue Lives Matter. But do you know why we were protesting? For police to stop killing unarmed black people. And they came back with Blue Lives Matter. What is that? But anyway, to continue what my sister Dawn was saying, I would like to continue where she left off and state that there shouldn't be any restrictions of this, the Citizen Review Board, any restrictions to applying to such as requiring a member to be registered to vote. Other reforms could be included, the power to recommend disciplinary actions, mandating remedial training for individual officers or an entire department, and to make referrals for prosecution, and all of these powers can be transferred to the commission. If the board is disbanded, these are the reasonable requests, and there are community leaders readily available to help this city properly navigate ways they can remedy this issue. But one thing that our city board cannot do is continue to gaslight citizens into thinking you are doing something you are not. Part of your role is to make sure all citizens are and feel safe, even if that's from the police. I ask that you not only listen, but act. And while I'm here, after the George Floyd, and we protested at the state capitol, some police officers escorted some people with Blue Lives Matter flags, Blue Lives Matter, and they attacked us. And that officer sitting right back there, watched them, their election of duty. He also—
Mayor, this is out of order.
I'm a citizen.
Order for him to attack us.
You're out of order. I'm a citizen. You don't have to, Mr. Hines. Peace out.
Mr. Woods, please keep.
All right. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
That officer watched, sat on his motorcycle with his arms crossed. I filmed him. He watched it. Me and Rizal Aaron, we had a permit to protest. He almost ran over us with his motorcycle. Now, when is the Citizen Review Board going to work? Because those two incidents should have been reviewed. Thank you.
Mrs. Wanda Reddick. I apologize if I'm saying it incorrectly.
It's Wanda Reddick.
Yes, ma'am. I apologize.
I live at Autumn Park Apartments. I've lived out there for 17 years. These last 2 years has been horrible. They raise the rent, the property goes down. No laundromat, the driveway potholes, the trash can, is so much trash around it, you don't even know there's a bin behind it. I don't live like that. And I feel like after 17 years, I'm being pushed out of my home to find somewhere else to live because of the conditions that I'm living in now. And I would like to see some changes. I'm planning on moving, but I would like to see changes for other people that may have to live there.
Yes, ma'am. Miss Amy Pritchard.
Good evening, Your Honor. Honor, City Board. My name is Amy Pritchard, and I'm a local attorney, and I live in the Soma neighborhood. And I want to thank Mr. Carpenter for such a nice invocation about listening to the people. And in listening to the people, I've worked a lot with the community, and I just heard Mr. Woods request that the Citizens Review Board review the incident that he brought before the board. So I heard that, and I think everybody else here heard that. But in listening to the people, you're hearing their complaints about law enforcement. The board is given the authority through the Citizens Review Board ordinance to refer those issues to the Citizens Review Board. I was extremely disheartened to read that several board members did not understand the process, did not believe in the process. After hearing people come from the community explain to you why we needed the Citizens Review Board, after having us as the community told, this is the only thing that the board will approve, is something that we don't even have faith in, but there are some good things in it. And now looking at it, so 2019, this was prior to the pandemic, prior to George Floyd. And so I went back because I had testified to you asking for you to adopt this ordinance. And I told my friend Don that this was going to bring about accountability and transparency. And I want to believe that that still can. So I look back at that ordinance now when we have George Floyd and a lot of time and a lot of issues with the police department that have been brought, I'm sure, to all of your attention. And so we have the authority as a community and also as a board and the mayor himself to refer these issues to the Citizens Review Board. They have the authority to hold public hearings where they can take testimony on issues. And there are several issues I've heard about law enforcement that I'm sure you're all aware of that the board could hold a hearing. And we as a community can understand if there's issues that or practices that law enforcement do that we don't understand, we can become educated. But if there are things that law enforcement are doing that are harming the public health and safety of the communities they serve, we also need to be educated about that. The Citizens Review Board is vested with the power to make recommendations to the mayor and the board about policies and practices. And I think we take this opportunity right now to really focus on making sure that the board works, test it out, see if it works. Looking back on it, like, there are so many incidents that I know of that a complaint really could have helped bring some resolution. And so I think I've talked to the mayor, I've talked to Director Miller, who he was not here when this ordinance was implemented. So, and Director Webb, who used to be my director back then, was here. And there's really an opportunity right now for everybody to come together and work with the community and see if there are issues that need to be resolved with the Little Rock Police Department. This ordinance implemented in 2019 gives us that opportunity.
Ms. Pritchard, thank you so much. Madam Clerk, if you would, please read the group items in addition to, I believe, 20 and 23.
Mayor, I have my hand raised.
Oh, sorry, Director Phillips.
Thank you. I just want to remind those who mentioned the issues related to their apartment complexes, the next Tuesday, we are having a policy discussion about changes to how our landlords interact with our tenants. Hopefully the board will be supportive of that and we'll get that passed here in the next few weeks. But there is some work being done to address those issues and we're going to attack them head on next Tuesday. So I want to make sure that the public was aware of that, Mayor.
Thank you, Director Phillips. Director Richland, your hand up.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to dovetail Director Phillips' point. I've spoken to some of the people who've spoken tonight. Some of our complaints about his work on this ordinance and our work on this issue. I think it's unfortunate in certain parts of our city, and I've coined a term for them. I call them misery merchants. They capitalize on the misery of other people, and I guarantee you in a lot of those apartment complexes that we're discussing and talking about, the only people there are the people who have no other choices, no other options. The people who have other options, they leave. We send code out, and I think a lot of times it's a waste of manpower and woman power, Mayor. We've done it. A number of them are in my ward, unfortunately, the southwest part of my ward, and these places are horrible. They're horrible. I mean, it's really inexcusable to expect somebody to raise a healthy family or child in some horrible living conditions, and I'm Director Phillips, I've talked to them and I've made mention of your ordinance and your work on this, and hopefully that'll give us a little support. But I think, and Mr. Carpenter has told me many times when I've tried to interject myself into these personal cases, that these are private contracts and there's nothing the city can do about these renter landlord agreements. We can hold them accountable with respect to some of the conditions that we're seeing consistently, but with respect to those contracts. I think, Tom, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, you've mentioned to me that we're limited in our ability to interject ourselves with respect to private contracts. And I think that's inexcusable, and I think it's unfortunate that we have to hear what we're hearing tonight. And the lady who invited us all to go out, let's go out and look and see. They're not making this up. Go out and look and see for yourself. They're not making this up. They're not exaggerating. They're not. And to my good friend Lance, I'm glad you're here tonight so I can use my word. I'm flummoxed about our inability to address these issues. And it's really inexcusable. And we talk about public safety as our number one priority as a board, but here we talk about addressing public safety by programming agencies that work with kids. Well, guess what? You can heal the kid, but you have to heal the family that produced the kid, and ultimately, and more importantly, the family that produced the community that produced the family. These communities are producing these families are producing these kids, and a lot of times these youngsters will be what they see. And what they see, guys, is deplorable. So Director Phillips, I'm glad you brought that up. I've made mention of that several times, and some of the people in the audience can attest to that. And hopefully we can get some kind of movement or some kind of resolution or some kind of traction on this issue, because it's really, really, really is heartbreaking and inexcusable. And I've coined this term. I call them misery merchants. And a lot of these complexes are not owned by people who even live in our state. Well, please, don't. So they have no connection beyond the money that they're getting from some of our most vulnerable citizens, and that's just unfortunate, Mayor.
And if I could respond to that, Mayor.
One second, are you done, Director?
He can go ahead, yes.
I'm sorry, I thought you were done. I knew you well enough to know when you were.
Director Phillips, we try to maintain some decorum.
No, go ahead.
Director Phillips.
My apology, Mayor. My apology, Director Richardson. And I was going to agree with you that I think there are some limitations on what the city can do from a state law perspective, but I'm encouraged, Director Richardson, because there are ordinances on the books now that we need to really enforce. So, for example, I'm looking at Little Rock Code, Section 8407, subsection E. It reads, excuse me, every occupant of a single dwelling unit and every owner of a building containing 2 or more dwelling units shall be responsible for the extermination of any insects, rodents, or other pests within the building or premises. So we already have an ordinance that requires the landlords to make sure that the folks in Autumn Park are not experiencing what they're doing. And what do we do to enforce that? And that's some of the things that we'll be talking about next week. So I'm encouraged that we do have some tools, Director Richardson, to protect our tenants, and hopefully we'll do more starting next Tuesday.
Well, thank you, sir, and I agree wholeheartedly. And what I would hope that we would collectively, as a policy, deem this as a priority for this sitting board as we move forward. That we build a momentum, and that this is just as important as the River Market, just as important as the Eclipse presentation we heard tonight, just as important as a lot of other perfunctory, I'm not calling those perfunctory, let me take that back, but just as important as some of the other things we celebrate, that we have that collective will on this board, that we move forward, Director Phillips, with the things you're talking about. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. And just as we quickly go to the items, I do want to share to the members of the community that spoke about the CRB, one of the areas of opportunity to improve that is being worked on to be included is basically the CRB language will be added to the complaint language. And so I just want to make that update from that standpoint. We do know that's a key component to that. So that'll be added into the complaint language is to make certain everyone's aware about that. So thank you for that feedback. That being said, Madam Clerk, if you would please read the group items.
An ordinance to approve a plan zoning development and establish a plan development commercial titled The Landry Group Vehicle Parking and Storage, PDC, located at 8503 Mapleville Pike, Little Rock, Arkansas, amending the official zoning map of the city of Little Rock, Arkansas, and for the purposes, an ordinance to establish a plan zoning development, establish a plan development commercial titled Kelly Cap Properties 4, STR2, PDC, located at 413 East 15th Street, Little Rock, Arkansas, amending the official zoning map of the city of Little Rock, Arkansas, and for the purposes, an ordinance to approve a plan zoning development, establish a plan development commercial titled Kelly Cab Properties 5, STR2 PDC, located at 413 East 15th Street, Little Rock, Arkansas, amending the official zoning map of the city of Little Rock, Arkansas, and for the purposes, an ordinance to approve a plan zoning development, establish a plan development commercial titled Kelly Cab Properties 6, STR2 PDC, located at 413 East 15th Street, Little Rock, Arkansas, amending the official zoning map of the city of Little Rock, Arkansas, and for the purposes, an ordinance to approve a plan zoning development, establish a plan development commercial titled Kelly Cab Properties 7, STR2 PDC, located at 413 East 15th Street, Little Rock, Arkansas, amending the official zoning map of the city of Little Rock, Arkansas, and for the purposes, an ordinance to reclassify property located in the city of Little Rock, Arkansas, amending the official zoning map of the city of Little Rock, Arkansas, and for the purposes, an ordinance to approve a plan zoning development, establish a plan development commercial titled Brandon Realty LLC 1, STR2 PDC, located at 1865 South Cross Street, Little Rock, Arkansas, amending the official zoning map of the city of Little Rock, Arkansas, and for the purposes, an ordinance to approve a plan zoning development, establish a plan development commercial titled Brandon Realty LLC 2, STR2 PDC, located at 1865A South Cross Street, Little Rock, Arkansas, amending the official zoning map of the city of Little Rock, Arkansas, and for the purposes, an ordinance to approve a plan zoning development, establish a plan development commercial titled Gilmore STR2 PDC, located at 1817 Fair Park Boulevard, Little Rock, Arkansas, amending the official zoning map of the city of Little Rock, Arkansas, and for the purposes, an ordinance to approve a plan zoning development, establish a plan development commercial titled Golf STR2 PDC, located at 1601 North Bryant Street, Little Rock, Arkansas, amending the official zoning map of the city of Little Rock, Arkansas, and for the purposes, an ordinance to approve a plan zoning development, establish a plan development commercial titled Jensen 1, STR2 BDC, located at 4909 Lee Avenue, Little Rock, Arkansas, amending the official zoning map of the city of Little Rock, Arkansas, and for the purposes, an ordinance to approve a plan zoning development, establish a plan development office titled Scipio A. Jones Museum, PDO, located at 1817 South Cross Street, Little Rock, Arkansas, amending the official zoning map of the city of Little Rock, Arkansas, and for the purposes, an ordinance to reclassify property located in the city of Little Rock, Arkansas, amending the official zoning map of the city of Little Rock, Arkansas, and for the purposes, an ordinance to reclassify property located in the city of Little Rock, Arkansas, amending the official zoning map of the city of Little Rock, Arkansas, and for the purposes, first reading.
Move to suspend the rules and place on second reading.
Second. There's a motion second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say nay. Ayes have a second reading.
An ordinance to approve a plan zoning development, establish a plan development commercial titled The Landry Group Vehicle Parking and Storage, PDC, located at 8503 Mapleville Pike. An ordinance to approve a plan zoning development, establish a plan development commercial titled Kelly Cab Properties 4, STR2 PDC, located at 413 East 15th Street. An ordinance to approve a plan zoning development, establish a plan development commercial titled Kelly Cab Properties 5, STR2 PDC, located at 413 East 15th Street. An An ordinance to approve a plan zoning development, establish a plan development commercial titled Kelly Cap Property 6, STR2 PDC, located at 413 East 15th Street. An ordinance to approve a plan zoning development, establish a plan development commercial titled Kelly Cap Property 7, STR2 PDC, located at 413 East 15th Street. An ordinance to reclassify property located in the city of Little Rock, Arkansas. An ordinance to approve a plan zoning development, establish a plan development commercial titled Brandon Realty LLC 1, STR2 PDC, located at 1865 South Cross Street. An ordinance to approve a plan zoning development, establish a plan development commercial titled Brandon Realty LLC 2, STR2 PDC, located at 1865A South Cross Street. An ordinance to approve a plan zoning development, establish a plan development commercial titled Gilmore STR2 PDC, located at 1817 Fair Park Boulevard. An ordinance to approve a plan zoning development, establish a plan development commercial titled Golf STR2 PDC, located at 1601 North Bryant Street. An ordinance to approve a plan zoning development and establish a plan development commercial titled Jensen 1 STR2 PDC, located at 4909 Lee Avenue. An ordinance to approve a plan zoning development, establish a plan development office titled Scipio A. Jones Museum PDO, located at 1817 South Cross Street. An ordinance to reclassify property located in the city of Little Rock, Arkansas. An ordinance to reclassify property located in the city of Little Rock, Arkansas. Second reading.
We suspend the rules and place on third and final reading.
Second.
There's a motion second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it. Third reading.
An ordinance to approve a plan zoning development, establish a plan development commercial titled the Landry Group Vehicle Parking and Storage PDC, located at 8503 Mableville Pike. An ordinance to approve a plan zoning development, establish a plan development commercial titled Kelly Cap Properties 4, STR2 PDC, located at 413 East 15th Street. An ordinance to approve a plan zoning development and establish a plan development commercial titled Kelly Cap Properties 5, STR2 PDC, located at 413 East 15th Street. An ordinance to approve a plan zoning development, establish a plan development commercial titled Kelly Cap Property 6, STR2 PDC, located at 413 East 15th Street. An ordinance to approve a plan zoning development, establish a plan development commercial titled Kelly Cap Property 7, STR2 PDC, located at 413 East 15th Street. An ordinance to reclassify property located in the city of Little Rock, Arkansas. An ordinance to approve a plan zoning development, establish a plan development commercial titled Brandon Realty LLC 1, STR2 PDC, located at 1865 South Cross Street. An ordinance to approve a plan zoning development, establish a plan development commercial titled Brandon Realty LLC 2, STR2 PDC, located at 1865A South Cross Street. An ordinance to approve a plan zoning development, establish a plan development commercial titled Gilmore STR2 PDC, located at 1817 Fair Park Boulevard. An ordinance to approve a plan zoning development, establish a plan development commercial titled Golf STR2 PDC, located at 1601 North Bryant Street. An ordinance to approve a plan zoning development, establish a plan development commercial titled Jensen 1 STR2 PDC, located at 4909 Lee Avenue. An ordinance to approve a plan zoning development and establish a plan development office titled Scipio A. Jones Museum PDO, located at 1872 South Cross Street. An ordinance to reclassify property located in the city of Little Rock, Arkansas. An ordinance to reclassify property located in the city of Little Rock, Arkansas. Third and final reading.
Members of the board, we've had 3 readings. Are there any questions? Any questions? Any questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. Ayes have it. Madam Clerk, if you would, please read item number 21.
An ordinance to approve a plan zoning development, establish a plan development residential titled Arbors Development STR2 PD, revised PDR, located at 301 East 15th Street, Little Rock, Arkansas, amending the official zoning map of the city of Little Rock, Arkansas, and for other purposes. First reading.
We suspend the rules and place on second reading.
Second. There's a motion second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. Ayes have it. Second reading.
An ordinance to approve a plan zoning development, establish a plan development residential titled Arbors Development STR2 revised PDR, located at 301 East 15th Street. Second reading.
We suspend the rules and place on third and final reading.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it. Third reading.
An ordinance to approve a plan and zoning development, establish a planned development residential titled Arbors Development, STR2 revised PDR, located at 301 East 15th Street, third and final reading.
Members of the board, we've now had three readings. Are there any questions? Any questions? Any questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. Ayes have it. Madam Clerk, if you would, please read item number 22.
An ordinance to approve a plan and zoning development, establish a planned commercial development titled Pickens Auto Repair Shop, PDC, located at 8805 Dreher Lane, Little Rock, Arkansas, amending the official zoning map of the city of Little Rock, Arkansas, and for the purposes first
Move
reading.
to suspend the rules and place on second reading.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. Ayes have it. Second reading.
An ordinance to approve a plan and zoning development, establish a planned development commercial titled Pickens Auto Repair Shop, PDC, located at 8805 Dreher Lane, second reading.
Move to suspend the rules and place on third and final reading.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it. Third reading.
An ordinance to approve a plan and zoning development, establish a planned development commercial titled Pickens Auto Repair Shop, PDC, located at 8805 Dreher Lane, third and final reading.
Members of the board, we've had three readings. Are there any questions? Any questions? Any questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it. Is there a motion to go into executive session for items 1, I believe, 1 and M1 and
M1 and 7.
And 7, so move.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to go into executive session for M1 and 7. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it. We'll now go into recess. Members of the board, we're back from executive session to report the appointment of Monty Ball and Stacy Brown to the Little Rock Housing Authority Board of Commissioners, doing business as the Metro Housing Alliance. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay.
Nay.
Mayor, do we need to, does the board need to pass the resolutions that are on the M1 and 7?
We've got a few resolutions, and it was done that way in part because we've got some gaps as we've tried to put it historically together, so.
All right, we'll do it separately. They are appointed, now we'll go to the resolution. We have one Madam Clerk, could you read M1?
A resolution to appoint Monty Ball to fill an at-large position on the Little Rock Housing Authority Board of Commissioners, doing business as Metropolitan Housing Alliance and for the purposes.
Move for the adoption of the resolution.
There's a motion, is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay.
Nay.
Ayes have it. Item number 7, Madam Clerk.
A resolution to appoint Stacy Brown to fill the resident commissioner position on the Little Rock Housing Authority Board of Commissioners, doing business as Metropolitan Housing Alliance and for the purposes.
So move.
Move for the adoption of the resolution.
There's a motion.
Second, I'm sorry.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. Ayes have it. Any more business before the board before we take a motion to adjourn?
Yes, Mayor, I just wanted the board to know that I'm trying to send out an email for ordinance regarding the citizen communication before the executive session, work with the city attorney. Hopefully this will be on our agenda next Tuesday, but it simply allows that on the meetings where we have executive session, that the citizen communication is before executive session. The reason why we hadn't been doing that, because there's an ordinance saying that it has to be after executive session. This simply is to make sure our citizens don't have to wait while we go in the back and do business so they can share their points of view. So you'll get a copy of that tonight, and then according to the interim city manager, that should be on our agenda for next week. That's all I have, Mayor.
Director Miller, your hand is up.
Thanks, Mayor. Just one, I know we had a great marathon weekend, and I would love for the staff of that to maybe give us a report for the next meeting or whenever they can get fitted in, just to share with us, all the highlights of it. Just a quick presentation like what we did with the solar eclipse. I think it would be beneficial.
Yes, sir. Any other questions, comments from members of the board? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Ayes have it. Meeting adjourned.
See y'all at the cleanup on Saturday.
All right.